With frustration, I tell you, welcome back to the Novice Lumberjack. This is why I'm a novice. Sometimes I need help. I guess pros do too, but anyways, the Binford Bad Boy has been coming along so nicely. But now that I've got it all assembled, I'm at a standstill. I cannot for the life of me figure out what's wrong with it. So, before you say anything about high and low jets and stuff like that, I've ran the gamut across it. Alright, let's show you the compressor. Or the compression, I should say. Alright, here we go. We're at 165 pounds of compression. Alright, that's pretty good. I'm running a 20 thousandths squish. That's why I got 165 pounds of compression. Alright, spark plug going in. So this is all, I mean, it had a bad crank seal, and that was causing problems, making it run lean. But it's got a new cylinder and everything, or new to me. It's a used cylinder, but I mean, you can see 165 pounds of compression. It's nice. So, anyways, I've went all through the jets, richened them up, I've leaned them out. I've done what you're about to see at least 8 times. Probably 8 times, yeah. So, what it does, for one thing, it doesn't want to pull fuel very well because it takes a lot of pulls to get this thing, to get fuel in there. That's not too bad. So, I messed with it a little bit, obviously. Let me go ahead and put these, the jets, where I would normally start out at. Alright, so let's see. 1 full turn and a half. That's on your low. Hey, don't get down, down. Good boy. You're maybe lose count already. Okay. 1 and a half. On the high, let's go ahead and run that throttle in a little bit. Part choke. Alright, it seems like it's running lean right now. So, I'm going to go all the way out, a half a turn on each. So that puts me at 2 full turns out. Okay. 2.5 turns out. Three turns out. Three and a half turns out. Obviously way too rich. A full turn back in. Now that took longer than any of the previous times, but it still does the same thing. As soon as I get it dialed in, then it stops. And now getting it started is going to be almost impossible. Let's check to see what the compression is. So the change that I made was almost exclusively, once I got it running good, that is, it was for the idle, not the high jet or low jet. The low jet, I turned it in to where it started to accelerate, and then I backed it off just a little bit. So it's not too rich. It's not loading up. I know that. So let's see what we got compression now that it's good and warm. $135. So That 135 compression, whenever it's warm, it dropped 30 psi. So I have a feeling that what's happening is that cylinder is getting nice and warm. You're losing compression, which changes where the jets need to run at. Even though it should run fine at 135 pounds of compression, the fact that it's losing 30 pounds of compression tells me that cylinder actually ain't no good. Or my rings aren't. I don't know. It's got new rings. I mean, I trust the guy that sold it to me, that it was a good running cylinder. But the idea that when it heats up, it loses that much compression. I've had it apart. I don't know what to do at this point. I do have a brand new open port cylinder. Now, buying a piston for this is easy enough. I mean, it'd probably be a Chinese brand or something like that, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. I don't want to run this. I want it to be 60 cc's. It's the Binford fucking Bad Boy. So, what is wrong with it? Any suggestions? I'd love to hear them. I have, if you haven't watched the video series, it's all new. Alright, it's all new. The crank case halves have been separated and put back together. And I used good shit to put it back together. I don't have it laying around. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but there's no base gasket. I'm using red Durco for the base gasket. Brand new crank seals. The carb, I'm certain is fine. It ran fine before with the other cylinder and everything, and there's no changes to the carb. Same thing with the electric system. Any suggestions? I'm all ears. Oh, and if you've watched this far, please subscribe, you know, because YouTube makes you get 1,000 subscribers before you can start getting any money off of these videos. So subscribe, man. You know, help me get 1,000 subscribers. Whew, I'm bummed out about this, so there you go.